Yo, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is Rikar here, and today, guys, I am bringing you guys Tier List Tuesday. Last Tuesday, I ranked the best Warzone streamers / players in the game, and you guys absolutely loved it. I talked it over with the stream at twitch.tv/Rikar. It's in the description below if you guys are interested in joining some of these chats live and giving them ideas for the YouTube videos. But we thought about Tier List Tuesday. Why not, guys? It's something super simple that I can bring to you guys every single Tuesday, and it can be Call of Duty related, or if I get some requests for it, maybe I'll do something like burger places to eat and there's so many tier lists we can do out there. And I'm going to do most of 90% Call of Duty, but if there's some really highly requested ones out there, I might have to do them for you guys because I know those are fun to mess around with and get good vibes in the comments and some really good arguments in the comments as well. So we're going to jump into today, guys. We are going to be doing the top ARs only in Warzone right now because I think ARs are in a very consistent spot that we kind of know what the meta is. Right now, tactical rifles are very strong. As everyone knows, the AUG is kind of taking over the world. The M16 was very strong before the AGC suppressor nerf. So they came out and said there's going to be a change later in the week. So I don't want to put these on there yet because who knows? Maybe they're going to they're going to draw back the AUG buff, or who knows what they're going to do. It's Raven Software and Call of Duty, Activision. Nobody knows what they'll ever do. So I don't want to touch those today. Obviously, they're really strong and very good. So let's jump right into this, guys. We're starting off with the grau. The grau is probably top tier viable, I would have to say, just because the grau just is always going to be that gun that's very good for anyone with good accuracy. The time to kill right now on some of these other ARs is a little bit better than it, but if you have good accuracy, it's always going to be valuable and viable to someone that has a good aim. So the VAL, I would not recommend to anyone. It's good as an SMG, but it cannot compare to something like the FFAR right now. Obviously, the FFAR is the best AR in the game right now, just the best weapon in general, in my opinion. The AUG might be, but it's really good, and it's just a lower value of it. I would not recommend using it because, yes, it's great in one-person fights, 1v1s. If you want to play it in solos, do it. But if you're fighting a squad, that 30-round magazine just really stinks. It's not good, guys. I really don't like it, and I would not recommend it to anyone playing squads, trying to go for high kill games or anything like that. Going on, the AK. This gun is the biggest meme of my community. For some reason, everyone on Twitch wants me to do an AK class, so I might actually make a video on the AK coming soon because they won't stop talking about it. You guys know who you are. But I would not recommend this gun, guys. It is good for 4 bullets, and then the recoil goes a little wild. The damage isn't high enough to really make worth of it. It's a worse version of the Odin, if you ask me, because the fire rate's a little funky on it. This is the Modern Warfare AK, by the way. We'll get into the other AK as well, but let's go on to the next one. Next, we have the Amax. The Amax is definitely meta right now. It'd probably be the best fully automatic weapon in the game, I would have to say right now, because I think only the AUG and maybe the M16 can beat it realistically. So definitely the Amax is the best mid to long range AR right now in the entire game. This thing is just you're trolling if you use this gun. For some reason, they give love to these 3 bursts automatically, like the AUG and the M16, but this bad boy, it's been sitting around for seasons on end, years now, about almost a year and a half since this gun came out, and it's been terrible in both multiplayer and Warzone. So poor guy, you're trolling if you use that. We have the FAL, which technically falls under assault rifles, right? I'll just put it on here. I would say it's viable. You can build it as an AR, you can build it as an SMG. I think they're both decent if you want to do it either way. It was broken at one point as an SMG up here, but recently it's being more built as an AR. It's decent, guys. It does good kill time at medium range, but when you get the long range, if you don't sneak some kind of lucky headshot in, you're just done. So it was really not great. Next, we got the Kilo. The Kilo, I would probably put, it's on that borderline of meta and viable. There's a lot of people still running this gun, but I'm going to put it top tier viable now just because the time to kill from long range where it used to exceed is not the greatest. It's still pretty good at medium range, though. I'm not going to lie. So top tier viable for sure. And remember, guys, I'm being a little tougher on these rankings today because we're only doing the ARs. Normally I would probably put it in potentially in Warzone meta, but we're going top tier today. because it's just ARs. Like, we're not ranking them on an overall scale or anything. Next, we got the M13. The M13 falls into that same category. You don't hit every single bullet with this gun. It is a pea shooter. It's one of my personal favorites and probably one of the most rewarding guns in the game and fun to use. But if you don't hit those shots and you don't get those kills, it's just not worth using. So the Odin, I would probably say that Odin's low-key viable. Like, it's decent. Like, honestly, like, it gets really fast kill time. Like, probably the fastest kill time in the game, arguably. But it has that weird fire rate, so medium to long range is just impossible with it. And I just wouldn't recommend it to anyone that's really trying to push fights. But if you're trying to mess around and have a good time with your friends, Odin's really good. And honestly, if you're probably like a low to like medium level player, like by that I mean like probably like a 0 KD up to like a 0.8 KD, you'd probably destroy a lot of lobbies with the Odin, to be honest, because the kill time's so fast. And honestly, it's really easy to use for the most part. Just that long range shots get a little weird. So I'm assuming if you're in those KD ranges, you're probably not hitting those shots in the first place. But no harm against you guys. I love y'all. It's probably just really good for you guys, to be honest. AN94, I'll put it as viable. This gun has been like the community like joke though. Like, everyone wants to say it has like a secret buff like every week, but it's just never been good enough. To like make it realistically, if you want to like try to force it into this one, you have to hit the first shot, the hyper burst that it has, the first 2 bullets shoots out at the same time, and you'd have to hit headshots with that to like make it really viable. If you're not hitting those headshots with it, kill time's really slow, and it's just like a worse version of the M13 in my opinion. This would be the QBZ. I'll put it at viable just because it's literally the AN94. There's no recoil on this gun, but the time to kill is like crazy slow. So do not recommend to a friend. The Krig, I'm going to put it at viable as well. It's not terrible by any means. It has a little bit of a weird recoil for, I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. Hopefully we can see it kind of reach like a better standard at some point, because I thought this gun was going to be really good when these guns first came over to Warzone. But it's just really not great, guys. It unfortunately does not meet the standards of anything better than viable. It's got a good kill time at medium range, but long range, it just doesn't do it straight up. So next we got that's not one. We got the Ram 7. I'm gonna put it top tier viable, guys. The Ram 7 to me has always been a really fun gun to run with like a sniper, or honestly, you can run it as your main AR, but it has a crazy fast kill time at medium range, very fast kill time at long range. But if the recoil and the spray on it, it's not terrible by any means, but it shoots so fast that it's like really hard to control and compare, because it shoots about the same speed as the M13, but it's harder to control. So if you can like really master this gun, it's very good, and like it's easy to use at them short to medium range, and that's why a lot of people run it with snipers. But past that, you're gonna have some struggles, guys. And honestly, it's just like a lower version, the harder version you use of the FFAR to me. So would not recommend to a friend. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. All right, so we have the Cold War AK. This one actually might be I don't know. They both look identical. Which one's which? Who knows? But would not recommend. Both of them are really bad right now. The Cold War AK did get a buff with this most recent patch, but I don't think it's going to be doing anything special going forward. I don't see it as becoming any sort of meta until the recoil gets fixed on it. It has a weird recoil pattern, so stay away from it. The Groza, I really don't enjoy this gun, but I know the stats on it say I should. It's very accurate and does good. It has a really good time to kill in like medium range, but I personally just don't like any of the sights on the gun, and it just doesn't do it for me, honestly. I'll put it at viable because the gun is viable. Like, it has almost no recoil, and like you can use it, but I personally do not enjoy it very much. So that's why it falls into that category for me. It's going to be viable, but I wouldn't recommend, like, if you're trying to like really push content. Same as all these other guns. The M4, I'm gonna put it as top tier viable. M4 has always been like I say it every video I talk about this gun. Swiss Army knife, baby. Good at short range, it's good at medium range, and you can get away with it at long range. It used to be way better at long range, but nowadays it kind of feels like a pea shooter at long range for most people. Got to sneak a headshot in if you want to make it worth at all, but definitely viable, especially top tier viable. You can't go wrong with it. It's a very, very balanced gun, and honestly, they should balance the game off of this gun. Like, it is a balanced gun. Like, it has a little bit of recoil, has a good time to kill at some ranges, not great at others. So I think that gun's like perfectly balanced. The Scar, not gonna recommend to a friend. If it had a bigger mag, honestly, this would be meta. Like legitimately, this would be Warzone meta or top tier viable, because the time to kill is crazy. There's almost no recoil on it, but having a 30 round mag as your max mag size is just not gonna do it. Nope, it's got too fast of a fire rate. It's not like the Odin where you can kind of get away with it a little bit. This guy, you can't get away with it. So nope. XM4, the XM4 I'm gonna put at viable as well. It's really good at medium range, really crazy headshot multiplier, and like really fast time to kill at short to medium range, but just doesn't have the range to really perform to that meta or top tier viable, in my opinion. It's a good gun though. I'm hoping to see, like I said, I'm hoping to see all these guns. We did have the big attachment change, so one of these might sneak into it, into like the new Cold War guns. We had all these new weapon changes and attachment changes. One of these might sneak up into the meta at some point, but I just don't see it at the moment. The FAR 83, the brand new weapon, guys. So I'm sure a lot of people want to know about this gun. I've tested it out. I haven't ranked it up all the way or have like enough gameplay to really give you like a true statement on it. But from like the little bit I've used with it, I would probably put it in just viable again. Like it's got decent amount of recoil, so it's kind of hard to like beam people with, but the time to kill is really fast, and especially if you sneak a headshot, and it's got a good headshot multiplier. But I wouldn't say it's like gonna become the new meta or anything. It's a solid gun, and the reactive camo for it's dope, and that's the only reason you should be using it. So last but not least, guys, I almost forgot about it. The FFAR. Warzone meta 100% right now. It's an absolute beast. It's great. It has the fastest time to kill at every single range, I'm pretty sure. I would prefer the Amax at long range over it because it's just easier to control. But this gun's obviously like the SMG medium range gun that everyone's running right now. Completely meta and broken. Crazy time to kill. Like makes no sense sometimes. Like you kill some people, you sneak a headshot and you're like, I think I hit him with like 3 bullets, but it shoots so fast it was 8 bullets. So that's FFAR for you, and that's the last one, boys. I think that's every single one of them. So Amax is realistically the only Warzone meta, in my opinion, right now. Like if you're competing in a tournament, there's no other AR you're going to use above this one. Like you can maybe sneak, looking back at it, you can maybe sneak like the Kilo up here, like I said earlier. You can maybe sneak the Grau up there, but realistically in this Warzone meta right now that we have with the AUG and the M16 just being really, really strong, we need the Amax because it has the fastest time to kill at medium to long range. It is honestly really good at short range too if you guys sneak in a couple kills here and there. But that's going to be it, guys. Realistically, there's not much more to talk about. I do appreciate every single one of you guys that do hang around and enjoy this. Let me know what tier list you guys want me to make next week Call of Duty wise, and I'll definitely do it. Well, we'll have a vote on it or something. I don't know. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys do consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and comment below what you guys think the next tier list should be, or if you guys think I messed up on this one. Because I think, personally, I like making these tier lists because I follow the pro scene. I follow my friends that aren't the greatest players in the world. So I feel like I know a decent amount about these guns. I mess around with these classes all the time. So other than that, I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace out.